Hannah, can you get off your phone so we can start?
Oh, can you shut up? Wait, how about all of you are out of the screen and then me and Frida pop out of nowhere, we introduce it, and then you guys—
I'm not popping out of nowhere. I swear to God, I'm not doing that. Hey everyone, and welcome to the first official episode. What is wrong?
I'm gonna look back at this, I'm gonna cringe so bad, I already know.
Mona! House tour.
Can you believe?
Hey everyone, my name is Farida Radwell. I'm joined by your other co-host Mona, and we are also joined with 3 guests today that you might not know of. You know, that's Madison, that's Sophie, Jared, all the way at the bottom there where he belongs. And today we're going to be talking about our firsts. Can you sit down?
I don't need to do. I'm walking over to my—
I'm so embarrassed. Imagine Mr. McLeod sees this.
Everybody show your first tattoo.
Turn
I
it
have
off.
a paper airplane.
Oh, I have a question for Jared. Do you regret any of your tattoos?
No.
My first tattoo was actually done by Farida's lovely sister, Amira. So shout out to
Shout out to Amira!
But my first steak and poke is actually this one.
Anyone?
Yes.
She's a Swiftie.
Frida, tell the audience what it means. Sophie, can you let people speak for themselves?
Yeah, like I've had enough. The muffled voice is really not doing it for me.
So if you guys couldn't already tell, Sophie just gets offended really quickly.
And Sophie does this thing where she literally likes to argue when someone makes fun of her. So if I say, Sophie, your hair is greasy, she's like, why not? Actually, it's not greasy because I washed it 24 hours ago and you can see, but if you look at this hair follicle, like, Sophie, we don't care. Just take the milk, and move on. Move on.
We're really airing out some like deep-rooted issues in this.
Oh my God.
Hey, Sophie.
Yes.
Can you join our meet again? Don't give me attitude, just join back. Don't give me attitude, just join back.
I've been come at too so much.
In this friend group, there are many different dynamics, as you can tell. You know, Jared is more of a witty, you know, very sarcastic person. He just, he likes to speak really, really slow. So when he talks, it kind of sounds like this.
I was literally gonna say that. He literally talks so slow.
He always has his hand over here too. Just like Mona is she's the definition of a hot Cheeto girl. She's literally the definition of a hot Cheeto. He will sit there. Hey. Why is she doing that for my face?
But it's when the yelling and the aggressiveness, that's what gets to me.
I'm sure you're right now. Because we're loud and ethnic, isn't that?
Favorite iconic Cawthra moment?
Yeah, talk about like
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, the calf, the table.
For my way, like when we were discussing like what we wanted to talk about, we're like technically we all got like the bus is literally what brought us like together. It's like a huge
Yeah, like getting like
without my way, there wouldn't be a we way.
And I have to go.
Oh my God. I hate you guys.
So now we're going to move on and we're going to talk about the most embarrassing topic ever, which is our first admirations and crushes of grade 9. Most of these men that we will be speaking of are actually many years older than us, and you can just imagine the scenario. Everybody's really ugly at this point. Everybody has a lot of acne.
a lot of braces.
Yeah, braces, acne, hair. Nobody knew how to treat their hair.
No one knew how to like
that's closing grade
the hairbrush.
This was 2017, actually.
This was 2017.
Everybody thought Jansport was the way to go. It was either Jansport or die.
Hey, I still have Jansport,
Me
so
too.
let's not hate on that.
Yeah, and Maddie used to walk around with a Jansport, and up until last year, she used to carry a lunchbox that was this. Anytime any one of us would just ask for a crumb of her. A crumb. She'd be like, why are you here? You actually took up all the food of the city.
Maddie used to come to ASP class every single day, not having her lunch eaten, and I was already like starving because I would never eat at lunch, and I would just look at her eating her freshly cut fruit, and like the jealousy in my eyes was not okay. Like
I'll give a brief description of the mandem here. So the person we're dealing with around here is, slightly shorter than my girl Mona over here.
Says around 5'4".
Yeah, he's 5'4", maybe 5'5" on, a nice sunny day.
When he's wearing his Jordan 12s.
When he was wearing his Jordan 12s.
He was
Not soggy. Not soggy. Please myself for that one.
Yeah, and I think maybe Mona and this guy have had around maybe like 3.5 conversations. And in that time of the 3 conversations, Mona had managed to get her heart broken around maybe 6 or 7 times. And every single week it would be like, oh, I'm over him. No, like I'm back on it again. Oh, I'm over him. And one thing I will never forget, I know every single one of you can remember this, is that time we were standing in the hallway in front of room 104, and everyone was just having a great time. We were all just talking. Everyone was just enjoying their time. And this man walked up. And Mona's eyes turned the heart eye emojis, and she's like, and at that moment, I feel like she just would have sold her soul.
She stared to the depths of that man's soul. When I say she went, not only that, she was 1 foot away from this man.
Oh, like what's so special about this guy or anything? He smelled like Loud and like Cheetos.
I would purposely walk by the pool doors just so he can like get a glimpse of me.
I remember that.
He would get onto the 8 North with us, and Mona would not breathe until he was gone.
He would sit like this. She'd be like,
yeah.
Maddie really followed the bandwagon on this.
This was the bandwagon.
Love with this man.
Maddie actually hates one person that hates her kind.
I do believe he might be a white supremacist. So yeah, might was an understatement. I was trying to be generous there.
I'm gonna give you the slack because he was a mega sweetie.
He was so sweet.
I thought he was ugly.
Mona, do you want us to revisit your story again?
When we started to get to know each other, and you're like, yeah, so many guys like had a crush on me, and like I did so many guys in grade 8. I was like,
Maddie was a player in middle school.
I actually was. I admired from a distance. And that's my
what
motto,
we all did.
and it doesn't get you anywhere. That's my one word of advice: don't admire from a distance. Talk about Frida Radwan's crush.
oh,
This man would decapitate animals and then post the pictures of their dead carcasses on his Instagram. Let's not bring up height. And Frida was just infatuated with him.
And the dead animals.
Just to show you guys how legitimate this guy is, he had a whole camera crew just following him around the school because he was.
I forgot about that.
Jared did not have crushes on
Jared
seniors.
doesn't, because
He was in grade 9 and grade 10. All the seniors loved him. They all admired him, and they would just come up to him like, "Yo, hi Jared, hi Jared." Like everybody wanted to be his friend, and like everybody had.
Jared, what are you doing Saturday night? Want to go to a party?
I mean, like what do you want me to say?
You were like a freshman, and all the seniors would like go out of their way to talk to you and like make plans with you and like genuinely just liked you. How did that feel?
I mean, like I don't know what to say.
I just remember like I just always avoided walking with him because I know that everywhere we would go, he would just get stopped. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was walking the red carpet here.
if we were gonna do first parties, the same person took Jared the whole time, and I was literally by myself, and I knew no one.
I didn't know that, Maddie. I thought you were fine.
From that moment on, I learned never go to a party with just Jared.
So as you guys can tell, going to Cawthra Park, we don't really have a good selection of the male species. So we did have a lot of.
I mean, it's a bold statement, but it's true.
I'm pretty sure everyone can agree that we've had our embarrassing crushes at Cawthra. So that concludes that topic. Moving on to the next.
Okay, so now moving on to the next 2 topics, they kind of relate with each other. And that is going to be speaking on your first heartbreak or the first time you felt deeply disappointed by someone or something in your life. So Mona, why don't you start us off with this one? What do you consider to be your first heartbreak or your first, moment of
My first heartbreak, dates back a long time. So this guy, he may or may not be watching, but in grade 10, he actually did slide into my DMs with a picture of him standing in front of a bus. And, he kind of, stopped his shot. And, after that, we just started talking. And, I don't know, I just kind of set myself up for disappointment because I would just kind of make up scenarios in my head. And I thought things were happening when they weren't. Last year, he did tell me he was going to be moving to a foreign country. I that was my first heartbreak. Like the pain I felt that day, the pain I felt that whole week. I remember going to Quebec with my family and I just couldn't think. Like all I was doing was staying up all night crying. I remember being on FaceTime with Jared and just like literally crying about this. Like after I ended the call, I just started crying because he told me
Maybe you should talk about the poem you wrote him in said foreign
Yeah,
language.
in fact, go into my notes page and I drafted up a really lovely poem in my opinion.
From the moment you started talking, I knew you were special. You're smart, funny, and probably the strongest guy I know.
Stop reading
You're
I have to go.
Oh, I gotta go.
Stay safe. Make her who you proud. Make your brother and sister proud. Make me proud. Please text me every chance you get, even you try to call me once in a while. Don't forget me. I love you so.
I can't believe you're exposing Mona right now.
I can't. Gurdan Akri Duna inshallah. I have to go.
Anyways, so I try to forget that time of my life.
Are you okay?
I'm gonna try to forget that time of my life because after 3 weeks of him being in this country, he did in fact text me.
It was a prank, lol.
He's actually back in Canada, so he liked
The gag is he
The gag
actually
is
didn't
it was a
even
green
leave
screen the whole
Canada.
time. That's the gag.
Remember? Wait,
The gag-
I wouldn't say I've ever been heartbroken. However, I do have a friendship heartbreak. So I had this really good friend and we were BFFs and I thought we were gonna be ride or die. Everyone drifts and that's like a normal thing. And like that's fine. But really what hurt me the most was I realized that friendship was really one-sided, and as soon as I stopped reaching out, that person stopped reaching out to me. I learned the importance of like surrounding yourself with people who really care about you, and something that I'm most proud of is that I have done that, and I've found a really good group of friends that support me and care about me. Yeah, that was like, Jared, what are those reactions
Back
for?
to the time when Frida said you look like Michael Jackson. And now I can't unsee it.
Well, I think that was a really good way to end Maddie's speech. What about you, Jared? What do you think a time was in your life that you felt really disappointed or heartbroken by something or somebody?
I actually never been heartbroken. And I just want to come on here and talk about that for a minute. Like I just want to relate to all the heartbreak songs, these days, but I could never. I did actually I dropped one of my friends last year because
And that gave you heartbreak?
I actually wasn't even heartbroken. That's the thing. I didn't get heartbroken. Like,
Okay, let's move on from Jared. Maybe he's not a good candidate for this category.
I don't know which
Which
moment to pick. Okay, just a lot of manipulation, a lot of let's just say 3-4 years of length. But now it's done. And the
Now it's over.
heartbreak is healing.
how did you feel from that? What
you're
did
a
you do?
survivor.
Well, I'm a survivor. Thanks, Jared. I'm trying to heal from it, but I've learned to you gotta let go sometimes of the things that are not good in your life.
Do you think that this person or this thing that caused you all of these issues and manipulation, do you think that helped your personality and yourself grow?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't change anything, and because of it, I've kind of slowly figured out who I can be and what's most important to me, and what to prioritize. When we're young, we think that we're in love, and that we found. And I mean, some people are lucky enough to find that, but I don't think that you will know that you're in love until you know to love yourself and know who you are.
Because when you're 15,
I really do resonate with that because I know me and you relate a lot of when it comes to our love lives and stuff, and I really do look up to you sometimes for being as strong as you are, and I hope that I can be like you one day and be very strong and cut those people out of my lives. And I feel like you've been really strong over the past few months and few years in general.
When is the first time you guys realized that you loved a part of yourself or that you were on the journey of loving yourself? When did you first realize, or what made you realize that?
April 2020.
April 20.
It's because of like quarantine and like I like kind of cut that person out of my life. I went downhill like after June. It's learned me.
Whoa.
And speaking,
It's taught me how to be open and look at things like openly. Okay, I know. Okay, I've been talking about yoga a lot, and I know that like some people don't like look at like thinking it's like weird, and that's how I
like
used to look
yoga.
at it. I've been doing it recently, and it's helped a lot.
Anyways.
so Maddie, you're next.
Oh, basically, I'm going to talk about how it's okay to not love yourself sometimes. And I am excited for the future to go on the journey of kind of discovering who I am. And because I've realized over the past few months that I have no idea who that is. And now I'm kind of starting at square one. And it's going to be a process, but I think it's a process.
Now it's going all up.
Anyways, and I think it's a process.
Like I'm confused.
I want to start a new book. Just a new chapter. I don't want to like throw everything away and start fresh. But I think now I have like
to leave Ontario and go to British Columbia.
But you'll always be here and you'll always be my family. So I'll always have.
What? Did you just say that?
Oh, sorry, what did I say? You're gonna have to roll the tape. I don't remember what I said. I need a change. And that's okay to admit that to yourself and to admit you don't really know who you are. And it's okay if you see people around you that are kind of figuring out who they are and who they want to be, and you have no idea where to start.
I feel like my self-love journey is ongoing, just like Maddie's, just like a lot of us are, most of us are. But I feel like for me, like the breaking point of when I finally started realizing that I need to like start appreciating myself more was actually been in the past few months. So with like COVID and everything going on, I've had a lot of time for myself and like a lot of time to kind of think about the decisions I've made and like how I have a really big problem with like pleasing people and like being able to like say no sometimes just so I can take care of myself. So like you guys, like literally my best friends, have made me realize like my worth as an individual and really helped me to like grow from that and like start like appreciating what I have to offer and my worth in general. So I'm still working on it, but I feel like I've gotten a lot better with kind of how I see myself. I love to see like other people happy before I even stop to think about like my mental health and myself in general. So that's just been my journey. I hope to get better one day, and like I take a lot of example from like Farida, because like I feel like Farida, like obviously I'm not saying I'm not saying that like you're completely sure of yourself, because I'm sure you have like a journey that you're still working on as well, but like I really look up to you in the sense where like I want to like give off the presence you give off, where like you're able to like take time for yourself and you're able to put yourself first, and that's something I really admire about you. So yeah.
Jared!
I mean, I started feeling better about myself after I got off of Accutane because I had a clear face, which was never the case. And I had bad acne all of elementary school and the beginning of high school. But then once that cleared up, I just felt so much more confident in myself. I appreciated myself a lot more during this quarantine, and obviously my friends know what I am referring to.
I haven't really reached the title of saying that I love myself, and I think probably one of the most challenging parts of loving yourself is to finally be able to look in the mirror and be like, wow, I look really good right now. I have yet to say that. I just think that it's really especially hard to look at yourself and think that you're a beautiful person when you have so many beautiful people alongside you, and all you do is compare yourself to them and like wish that you had certain features or like certain things that you don't have. And I personally struggled with that a lot because when I was in like middle school, I would constantly compare myself to like my friends. I would compare myself to like other girls that I thought were really pretty. I just think in order to be able to finally, you know, look at yourself and be like, yeah, like I made it, you have to start putting in the effort to make yourself presentable in your own eyes, if that makes sense. So I agree with Jared. I had extremely bad acne from grade 6, like not even from middle school, like from like grade 6. Started in elementary school. I had really bad acne, and it got worse and worse up until like grade 9. And I had like crooked teeth. Like I didn't have braces at the time, and I got braces when I was in grade 5, which made me look excruciatingly bad. I was never happy with the way my hair looked. I was never happy with the way my skin looked. I was never happy with like my fashion sense and all of that stuff. And then I'm not gonna say that I'm happy with the way that I look now, but I just think like genuinely it matters about who you surround yourself by. And if like people are always making you feel bad, like with like sly comments, or like they're telling you things that you feel like they're joking, but it like genuinely hurts your feelings sometimes, like I feel like that really affects me. And I think everybody's just on that journey to like be able to say that they love themselves. And I think it's a really like healthy thing, you know.
I think that's a great way to end.
I hope you guys, the audience, enjoyed our sense of humor, enjoyed the way we interact with each other. I hope we gave you guys that space to kind of just like kind of interact with us and kind of relate to like the problems and the things we go through like in high school in general. So yeah, this has been the OG gang.
Great bonding experience.
It was so fun.
It was.
I had such a fun time, guys. Thanks for having me.
Me too. All right, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.